I've had one of the worst travel experiences in pilot training flight simulator, and this has got to be the worst of the worst. Alright, so let's get started. Last time, as you know, I uploaded this trip report video from Manchester to Doha. I was flying Qatar Airways, and it was in a beautiful A380 double decker. I was in business class. The service was great, flight extremely great too. But when I was at Doha, I decided to explore the city for a bit. Very warm, very nice, and very deserty. And then it was time for my flight the next day. This time, I was making a video on comparing a normal airline versus a budget airline. I was supposed to fly from Tokyo to Perth to Manchester. But things didn't go as expected. I was comparing the budget airline from Tokyo to Perth. And the first pat down that happened was that we had to take off. Our takeoff was delayed, and it didn't end so well. It ended up being delayed for 30 minutes, and usually takeoffs are pretty quick. But I don't know if this is the ATC's fault or even the pilot's fault, but the pilot or maybe ATC decided it was a good idea to let the plane on the runway when there was a plane trying to take off. Now, I don't know if the ATC is like not there or anything, but that was not good as we had to taxi some more until the other side of the runway. This ended up delaying our takeoff for 30 minutes. We were all scared that we were going to crash. The next pat down is the big one because let's get started from before the story. So as you know, we had a usual takeoff. We took off on the north side, and the takeoff view was also wonderful. As you know, in a budget airline, you have to pay for anything extra. So I skipped out on the service, and I enjoyed the view while I could. But something worse happened. For some reason, the flight was taking a long time, and the distance between Doha and Perth not that long until I checked my phone and this happened. It turned out we were not going to Perth, and I was not going on that normal airline ticket. Instead, I was going straight to Manchester, and I couldn't believe it. I was not going on that normal airline today. Things were even worse from there. We tried to tell the pilot to go around, but the pilot said it was already too late. And the worst thing that happened during the flight was that I realized that I was gonna miss my $3,000 flight from Perth. That means I wasted $3,000 on an airline ticket that I wasn't even gonna go on. And so I knew I had to rush back home to in order to cancel the flight and rebook a flight for the budget airline. But apparently Qantas wouldn't cancel the flight due to an error, and I ended up spending $3,000 just to miss a flight. This entire budget airline cost like $500, and it was a literal scam. I have no words to say when we landed. And plus, we didn't even taxi to the gate. The plane just stopped in the middle of the runway. And I was really confused. I had to run all the way back to the airport, get a bus to go home, go straight on my computer, only to realize that I wasted $3,000 thanks to the Hardjet airline. This is literally the worst travel experience. Yeah. I did not appreciate it. So I ended up scoffing at the flight and I did not book any more flights from Perth to anywhere because this video was a complete waste of money and a complete fail. If anyone's watching this, do not fly hardjet in PTFS.